the Overman Warrior Podcast.
That's not possible!
Victors! I wrote the playbook!
I can't lose to him! This was my state! The polls lied! Amy Acton concedes, maybe.
Hi, Acton Hoffman here. So let's talk about polling in Ohio between Vivek Ramaswamy and Amy Acton. It's early, and let me just tell you, there's all this talk about the rooster. Let me tell you why they're so desperate, because they know what the rest of us know. If you've been involved in politics, Vivek Ramaswamy is likely going to win this thing at 55%, Amy Acton at 46 or 45, something like that. It's going to be like a typical school levy defeat. There's not enough Democrats in Ohio, especially when Trump comes out in the summer. This is right now. Ramaswamy is ahead of Amy Acton. So that's why all these progressives are losing their stuff. And that's why they're getting a little desperate. And they're trying to make a rally cry behind the rooster. Oh, those evil Republicans are violating free speech by throwing their critics in jail, like the rooster. Don't send dick pics to senators. We elect those people to be representatives of us, and I don't want senators who would accept such disgraceful behavior from people claiming to be members of the media, sending disgraceful dick pics to our members of our legislature. That's not a way you're supposed to behave yourself under any climate. And for doing so, the rooster should have never thought that he could do it. But he has a criminal background. Like most Democrats are inclined, they either have it themselves or they support criminals because they may become one in the future. They don't have very high ethics. They tend to be bumper cars of ethical behavior. They're the ones that don't want the 10 Commandments on courthouse walls because they can't live by them. And they tend to be very secular. They don't like the 10 Commandments. They don't like Christianity at all. They're terrible people typically, and they behave horribly in public. And so they're panicking because Vivek Ramaswamy, they've tried all they can try, and polling for him right now, June of 2026. Some of the April polling, even going back, has Ramaswamy at 48, Acton at 47, 49 to 44. Echelon Insights, that poll. That's very recent. It's April. Yeah. So every poll, going all the way through here. Here's one from ENC Research, 53% to 43%. Now, I'm going to say my take on it is it's probably better for Vivek Ramaswamy than what they're showing here. No, EMC actually has the other way around. It's probably better for Vivek Ramaswamy because Republicans don't really answer polls. I had one the other day. Hey, can you take a few minutes? Because I vote in all the primaries. I vote in all the elections. So my name's on the list, and you get called, and I'm too busy to answer a poll. I don't answer polls on anything. I'm lucky to answer half my emails because I don't have time to answer them all. I'm too busy with other things. I certainly don't have time for polls. And there's a lot of people who are conservatives, who are industrious people, who don't answer polls. So I think it's even stronger for Vivek Ramaswamy. And they know it. They've seen all the internal polling. They know they don't have much of a chance. That's why Amy Acton's out there saying, hey, remember, I support the nurses. I support all the unions. Oh, look what they're doing. Look what the governor's doing with public money. Oh, what about that Matt Huffman? I like him a lot. What about Matt Huffman and all the money going to private schools? Public money shouldn't be going to private schools. Well, I'm just telling you guys, pandering to the teachers' unions has only got everybody in trouble. There's not enough of them in the state of Ohio. And Amy Acton's trying to pander to the teachers' union. And she's going to find out that's a 40% issue. When you radicalize yourself and you come out and say, remember COVID and all the nurses? And think about all the teachers unions that are trying to ask for school levies every 5 minutes. For school funding, that's a dying model. I'm just telling you, the way that it's going to go is tax money is going to be a tax not to the zip code, but to the student. And that's the only way to really make it work. And all these people out there making a political issue out of funding going to private schools, and the teachers union saying, we can't compete with the private schools, so why should they get public money? Why should a union, a socialist labor union get public money at any kind? And it goes back to, and I had a lot to do, I'll be honest with you, with the SB 5 back in 2012. I had my name all over that legislation. I remember when because I had my statement on WLW radio. They had me on 3 or 4 times a week, and my statement, which was heard, there were lots of people in the legislature that was like, hey, that makes sense. That was like, why would we allow public sector unions to get tax money? Because through collective bargaining, that's not the best value for the taxpayer. So it was too much it was too much at one time. And Kasich didn't know how to sell it to the public, and he fell on the sword. He got killed in the 2012 election. Republicans got harmed because they didn't know how to go out and defend it. They had the same issue with right to work. And you got people like Amy Acton out there screaming for unions. Please, Youngstown, please, Northern Ohio, vote for me. And I'm just telling you, a lot of those union votes in Youngstown and Cleveland, all those people in Northern Ohio, the union types, a large percentage of them are going to be voting MAGA. They're going to be voting for Trump. They like Trump. They're going to vote for John Husted. Polling shows that there's enough Democrats that are going to spill over, that Democrats are going to, Sherrod Brown included, they're going to end up in the 40s, and the Republican counterpart's going to be in the 50s. Specifically Vivek Ramaswamy. And they know that. It's starting to shake out that way. They're panicking because nothing they do is sticking. And that's why people like the Rooster and all their progressive, all those losers that smell like marijuana smoke all the time, that hang out on sidewalks and make themselves well known at music festivals, progressive types, open Marxists. They want Amy Acton. They want big government to hide their criminal enterprises, their tendency to break the law every 5 minutes. You can just tell by the way they dress that they're scumbags. They don't have a lot of respect for law and order. They certainly don't like Christians. They don't like Christian sentiment. They don't like the 10 Commandments. They want to throw it all out, and they want to be anarchists and chaos masters to erode away a law and order system. And it's all coming back to this, the whole, what's their market? What's the demographic of them? They don't have enough people to vote to put Amy Acton in the governor's seat. And they know that. Vivek Ramaswamy, he could go out and talk about all the good stuff he's talking about and just keep campaigning. Trump's going to come out, and he's already endorsed Vivek Ramaswamy, but he's going to come out and put his name next to Husted, and he's going to put his name next to Vivek Ramaswamy. There's going to be Ohio events before the election that's going to make sure that everybody knows these are your MAGA guys, and they're going to get elected. And Amy Acton don't stand a chance. And progressive Democrats know it now. Sherrod Brown knows it now. And I'll go back and I'll say even in the California race. I mean, you see how the mayor race is going on in Los Angeles. That's headed in the right direction. And I'll tell you, I announced the Steve Hilton governor race in when I hosted an event. When Steve Hilton came and announced it at my event. And I talked to him about it, and I knew what he was going to do in California, and he's likely going to win in California. The Democrats don't have a good platform. They have just like Amy Acton in Ohio. Her track record is shutting down the state with COVID. No matter who it is in California, they have forest fires and runaway progressive homelessness that is on their record because they've been managing things for a long time. Arnold Schwarzenegger was a progressive, very progressive governor, and they took advantage of him. All the public sector unions did, and they've tried that in Ohio. And since then, even though Kasich didn't have the guts to go through with it all the way, he got wavery and he stopped listening. They all stopped listening to me because I gave them what they thought was a major loss. It hurt the Republican Party by going after these public sector unions. Well, it was a little bit too much. They didn't know how to sell it. I did my part on WLW radio. I went out and talked the benefits of SB 5 and how but a lot of people had a hard time because the Tea Party movement was trying to win over, which became the MAGA movement, win over the union vote. And a lot of union people have went MAGA. And those same union voters that voted for Trump are going to vote for Vivek Ramaswamy and John Huston. And there's nothing that Amy Acton can go out and pander to the remaining groups. Those unions are already with her. They're Marxist in their intent. And they love her big government Marxism. They want to designate tax money perpetually to unionized school teachers when the model is saying that that's not the way it's going to go. The zip code is going to dictate the funding. Not the zip code, the kid. If you have a kid, the state funding is going to go to the kid, not the zip code. Not just because you happen to live in an area and all the money is going to go to that school district. Because the way the unions have allocated collective bargaining agreements. That's what's got all these costs running away like they are, and you can't put up with it. So Amy Acton, polling says Amy Acton's going to lose, and it's 6 months out right now, and she don't have I don't see a path to victory for her at all. It's only going to get worse for her, and it's already bad. And they know it, so they're getting desperate, and they're out there saying Vivek Ramaswamy and corrupt Republicans, and they want to get rid of the state income. They want to get rid of state tax, state income tax, property tax. How are we going to live? How are we going to expand our big government if we get rid of all these taxes? That's where they're at, and they're out for wealth confiscation and redistribution to all their derelicts. And that's why they're Democrats. That's what they're out for. That's what the Rooster was out for. That's what he's out there campaigning for the people. Those corrupt Republicans, they won't let us steal out of their pockets and give it to the poor so we can buy votes. So they're corrupt. That's what they say. And they're wrong. They're a bunch of scumbags, Democrats are. And they're not going to win. They're not going to win in Ohio. Amy Acton is not on a path to win. Vivek Ramaswamy is going to start closing the gap and pulling away. Gap is already there in his favor. And he's going to end up in the 50s, and she's going to be in the 40s by the time it's all said and done. Bank on it. Anyway, it's Rich Hoffman here. Share, subscribe, make tomorrow a better day. If you haven't read my book, The Gunfighter's Guide to Business, I think you'll love it. When it comes time to vote for Vivek Ramaswamy and John Huston and all the Republicans. Keep the Republicans in majorities and throw Democrats in jail whenever you get a chance to. Like what happened to the Rooster. That needs to become a routine event. It's not free speech to harass people who are trying to do good work. When you get a chance to throw them in jail, do it. They do it to you and wouldn't look back. And that's the way you got to balance these things out. Make a footstool of their defeated carcass at the polls. That's how you live. Anyway, have a good day. See you later.
In the age of disclosure, you must understand the politics of heaven. Coming soon. Coming soon, the politics of heaven in 2027. A treasure hunt through heaven and all human history.